Hello and welcome back to Fierce Entertainment for my review of 2005's The Devil's Rejects, which is this one, which is the sequel to 2002's House of a Thousand Corpses, directed and written by Rob Zombie. I liked the first film. I still have a love-hate relationship with that movie. But when it comes to The Devil's Rejects, The Devil's Rejects is probably my least favorite one out of these. It is a movie that I downright fucking hate this movie. Now I will be very honest with you. I fucking hate this movie. There is some crazy shit in this movie. Yes, some shock value is way up there, but you know what? It takes a lot more than shock. Oh my god, I can't believe he did that freaking shit in a movie to make me like it. And that's part of the problem with Rob Zombie films, is they depend a whole lot on people's squeamishness of uncomfortable shit happening in movies to entertain. It takes a lot more than that to entertain me. And people probably know that by now because Holderfest 2019, I reviewed the Wrong Turn movies in the Hills Have Eyes remix, and we definitely know how much I didn't like those fucking movies. So it shouldn't be a surprise to anybody that I have a love-hate relationship with these fucking movies here. But the one that I really, truly hate out of these three films is The Devil's Rejects. It is a catastrophe. It is a fucking disaster. You have something that could have turned into a great trilogy with House of a Thousand Corpses, and they would continue the story from that into making sort of like a combination of realistic psychological horror and supernatural fantasy horror, and made a balance between the two using, satanic worship and black magic and voodoo or whatever the fuck these people did in the first film, and go ahead and expand on that. The Devil's Rejects could have been a great movie, but no. And this brings us into the plot of the film. After a independent I'm not sure if it's FBI, it was some sort of freaking special task force of some kind, maybe a ranger task force or something, get permission to downright go on a mission of desecration when it comes to the Firefly Farmhouse that we saw in the first film with our murderous family in it of serial killers and their worshippers. And well, they charge at the house and start blowing it to bits. But our three main killers kind of get unloose. Of course, Captain Smalding is not in the house. He's doing his own thing, his own clown stuff. But Otis and baby Firefly escape. Their mom gets arrested. Tiny's nowhere to be found, which is the deformed, really burned, humongous, retarded one. It's nowhere to be found, and obviously, the other two just get shot to bits. So they get in touch with Smalding, which of course the clown one, which we find out that he is the father. And basically, he tells them to hold up in this hotel, the shit hick hotel. They go over there, take a this is where it gets stupid, people. A folk, sort of honky-tonk rock band consists of a man and his wife and like a few hippies that they came along the way. And of course, like we expect with these fucking movies, Otis and baby Firefly have their fun playing on the freaking weaknesses and stupidity of the victims and the people they come across. Eventually leads to ripping off the Texas Chainsaw Massacre from Tobe Hoover yet again. And not as successfully is House of 1000 Corpses, because House of 1000 Corpses is a hell of a lot closer to Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the original, than The Devil's Rejects is. But yes, the typical shit you saw in the first film with these two fucking crazy, weird hillbillies cutting people's faces off, wearing them as masks. Only in this one film, they instead of wearing it as a mask, they wear it as a mask, and then they decide to put it on one of the victims and let the victim go wild after they leave and all that stuff. Then, of course, the three, because obviously Captain Spaulding, we can just help with them. They go to where they think is safe, and then we find out that the leader of this malicious task force of Rangers, or whatever, is the brother of the sheriff they fucking killed in the last movie. And he's on a rampage vendetta against him. And so he basically, and this is just weird saying it, and it is weird in the movie as I'm about to say it. He takes his big knife and literally, as if it was a dick, fucks Mom Firefly with the fucking knife and guts her at the same time. Yeah, and it sounds as weird, and it is weird as I said it, watching it in the movie. And then, of course, you have these two gangsters that supposedly this fucking crazy ranger has. They're working for him, tracking them down, and stuff like that. And, of course, it doesn't quite work. But this guy does get them, all three of them, all tied up. Tells them, "Oh, I killed your mom, and I fucked your mom with a knife." Blah 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 blah. Goes ahead and lets baby Firefly go because he wants a little bit of fun, a little bit of a chase, and then tries to chase her down. Then Tiny finally makes an appearance, and like a fucking giant would do to a normal-sized man, with no effort at all, he freaking snaps his body in half, basically. Doesn't really see that. You just see him snap his neck and his head, but you know that the head was turned all the way around. So yeah, that's some diabolical shit. Then goes into Fiery Inferno, rescues Otis and Captain Spaulding, and then they're all beat up, they're all freaking tired, they're all, oh man, what a fucking day, right? And they're driving away in this car, and then you have a roadblock full of cops, and then they start going ahead and shooting the fucking hell out of our murderers and our killers, and we don't know what happens next, leaving us are thinking about what does happen next in our own fucking minds. And I actually would have preferred this to be the last movie. They made a third fucking movie. Alright, quality. Again, this film is 1.78, and it has a better picture quality than House of 1000 Corpses. There actually is much more of a digital type of look, so there's a little bit of cool temperatures in this movie, kind of like a Saw movie. But it still does have that 1970s noir retro type of look to the film. It is in a 6.1 DTS HD high resolution audio presentation, and the audio presentation on this one, at times it has good kick, but it's way overly balanced. I get the sense that it was compressed down. It's like, you had some guy with supersonic hearing or some old fucking fart that has a problem with modern sound technology and wants everything, to where it's not blasty or something, and decided to go ahead and keep the dB levels low while making this sound presentation, because that's what it kind of sounds like. And that's funny because it's the exact same fucking technology as the first movie. But the film has an inferior sound presentation. And I know I'm going to get shit for all the cussing I'm doing in these two reviews, but honestly, when it comes to ranting on movies, as well as trying to pull out what I do like about the movie, I like to have a little bit of fun. So usually when I like the movie completely, I won't cuss as much. And I'll spend more time talking about that, but there's not much of anything great to say about, this one. The last film, I had a lot of good things to say about it. This one is just, it's a boring sequel. And what I hate about this movie even more is that House of a Thousand Corpses is 88 minutes long. It's a thrill ride because it's 88 minutes long. Okay? It has much more story and much more exposition in the first movie. The second movie is 109 minutes long. So it's like one hair short of being a 1 hour and 50-something minute long movie. And I gotta tell you, it drags. It really fucking drags. And well, that's my review on The Devil's Rejects. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys next for my review of 3 from Hell. Until then.